go live. And wait for it, we are now live. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam Wrestling Show YouTube channel, as well as on Twitch and Facebook and all manner of places. So wherever you're watching, make sure you smash that subscribe, hit that thumbs up. We've got tons of stuff happening within the world of professional wrestling to talk about. There's all kinds of like events coming up. Suddenly, like AEW may be getting like a new TV contract. We can discuss some of that. We're going to be discussing like the futures of some wrestlers, where it's a little bit of a mystery of like what they're doing in the business at the moment, and I'm sure so much more. So on the show tonight to discuss all of this and so much more, say hello to the people, Dave.
Hello, everybody. It's been a little while since I've been on the show and various bits and pieces like that because I've done and got to marry. Yay!
Look at that. He's got well, you've got the dynamite diamond ring right there, so that's the important thing.
It's a silver ring. Obviously, it means a huge amount, but I can tell you right now, unlike most wrestling weddings, nobody went through a table, no one got covered in cake, and most importantly, there wasn't a cobra in any of the presents. So.
Okay, but did Teddy Long come down and say that you're going to be going against The Undertaker in a tag team match?
No, he did not. No. And Kane didn't tombstone a priest either.
Okay, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but there's been a thing for like the last day or two on wrestling Twitter where some like guy got married and he had the Roman Reigns entrance complete with pyros as part of his wedding celebration. I had to look close to make sure it wasn't you, Dave.
I was about to say, was it Assad?
No, like, okay, so when Assad got married, didn't he come out to like Triple H's theme?
And then Punk, and then
something like this, you know. So you didn't go that route, Dave.
No, we didn't go any wrestling routes.
Okay, right. So also on the show tonight we have Capital Fave. Say hello to the people.
What's up, dogs? From the land of slams and jams, it's me, Cap.
Awesome. And Deb, say hello to the people.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. And clearly, Dave doesn't watch AEW because he got married.
Wait, I don't understand that reference.
Clearly, Dave doesn't watch AEW because he found a girlfriend and got married.
Well, there you go. There you go. It breaks the stereotype, right?
To be fair, I'm not caught up the last 2 weeks, so technically he's right. I've not been watching AEW, but I do. I've broken the trend.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about what we have seen and stuff like this. Okay, so I've got a bunch of like different headlines and stuff. I don't know, there isn't like a pay-per-view this weekend or anything, is there?
No,
like the last few shows, there's been consistently like a pay-per-view to react to.
The SmackDown premiere and the NXT premiere.
Oh yes, so the NXT premiere, of course, they wheeled out CM Punk just to try to boost those ratings as they got to do.
Is that not next week they're doing their premiere on the? Is that not next week or the week after on the CW? I thought it was coming up in October.
I don't know, to be honest. I know that Punk was on NXT this week though, but because like in the UK, you know, we say about like the TV contracts for the wrestling because it's so important. But you know, I'm in the UK, so I don't see any of these channels anyway. You know, so right now. Speaking of which, though, because it does affect things. All of the wrestling promotions, like they're having their shuffle. WWE is coming to Netflix from January, but up until then, we're going to have everything on USA Network in the States. And the big thing from this is, my understanding is that means Monday Night Raw is going to switch to 2 hours. What's anyone's feelings on that? Or have you got used to and love the 3-hour show?
No, thank you. 2 hours, please. Even 1 hour, that would be great.
See, this is the thing where I've always struggled because I think a 1 hour wrestling show is so refreshing. Like when NWA Power was first a thing and it was so retro, I was like, wow, this feels refreshing. Then NWA, meh, I don't know about it nowadays, right? But when Rampage first came on for like the first 3 weeks, an hour of wrestling on a Friday, it felt so good. But it doesn't also feel like it's quite enough. 2 hours is quite long as a commitment. 3 hours is death. but I don't know if 1 hour is enough for a weekly show.
Here's the thing, right? With the hour structure, if it's purely wrestling like Wrestling Society X was, with no promos, no much talking, just like the story being built by the commentators, then you can do 1 hour. But
Yeah, Wrestling
if you're
Society
not-
X though was like these massive like tapings that were squeezed down into half-hour programs, where they just cut out anything that was considered a rest hold or things like that. They'd like 10-minute matches that squeezed to 3 minutes, and it was like bam, 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 bam.
Like
great viewing,
what
but
year
it
was
was
Wrestling Society X? That feels like it was like 2002 or something.
Oh, that was like
2006.
2006, 2007, something like that.
Wow, was
Yeah.
it really? Wrestling Society
Yeah.
X?
I prove that. Like, other than most of the times when I watch wrestling, when they do the huggy and the rest time thing, I'm like skipping the remote for other stuff. So yeah, cut that out.
I love that.
Okay,
or something like Lucha
go ahead.
Underground, which was like an hour long, wasn't it? So that was a very different type of storytelling entirely.
Yeah. No, like I think an hour is really good in terms of, you know, commitment to watching something. Most other shows, if you watch that, like when it comes on TV and you're watching Breaking Bad or whatever, it's an hour a week and stuff like this. Now, obviously, so much now is binge this and everything comes out drops all on one day kind of stuff. But wrestling for a long time has been like, well, you need 2 hours to give everyone a spot. 3 hours, though, has always just felt like it made the pay-per-views feel less important.
Yeah, and there's also a case of the idea of Raw having a bigger roster because there was more of the roster to get on, but yet there was still so many people that were just running after the 24/7 title, for example, and things like that, where they weren't being used anyway. So I think going back to 2 hours isn't going to be that huge a difference, apart from maybe just everything's just kept like to a more of a minimum now, and they'll save like the big long wrestling matches for the PLEs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I completely agree.
I'm thinking of it from like a business point of view, and like an hour gives you 15 minutes. Sorry, 3 hours gives you 45 minutes of adverts, as opposed to half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it's like 15.
So it's not necessarily have break. It's not going to
So
necessarily
with
have
Netflix, if the rumors that I heard over the last few days are true, they may still incorporate adverts into it, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it will just be like all of these streaming things. They now, like when you watch Amazon Prime or whatever, like every 20 minutes you watch a TV episode and they put in adverts. It's just everything that was streaming is just going back to like what TV was before. And so it probably will be that they can put in the adverts wherever they want, but it'll probably be more sponsorships and stuff like this. Rather than,
from what I've heard, like the WWE Raw on Netflix will have adverts, but like adverts within the show itself, not like ad breaks. It will have like this match sponsored by Skittles. Remember in 2006 or something, before the match started, they're like sponsored by Skittles and stuff.
Yeah, like
Did The Rock make fun of John Cena for Skittles?
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles, yeah.
Does this also mean we're gonna have? Does this mean we're also gonna have more matches like that weird Royal Rumble where everyone was dressed up as the Colonel from KFC?
Oh my god! Yes, I hope so. I would definitely be up for that. Let's do it. Let's go all out. Okay, so WWE they're going to have a change, but the bigger thing, because WWE going to Netflix isn't until the new year. Imminently, I believe it's going to be what's happening with AEW. It's reaching crunch point. Are AEW going to continue with Turner, with TBS, with TNT? The big thing from like a day ago that I was reading was that Rampage is likely to be cancelled.
Really? I read there was going to be more of it.
Jackson for a moment.
No, so there's going to be Shockwave, quite possibly, is a new show that they've registered the trademark of. But what I was reading is that Rampage is going to be dropped.
Okay.
Is Hell in a Cell a thing? What are the things that are still alive in WWE? Hell in a Cell? Is it a thing?
Is what a thing?
Hell in a Cell.
Okay, so Hell in a Cell is still pay-per-view, but for AEW, they have Collision, Dynamite, Shockwave, Nitro.
Nitro?
Like
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
Rampage.
Rampage. They have a lot of shows. What they should do is cancel the CM Punk show.
Yeah, get rid of Collision.
Yeah, Collision. Collision
Yeah.
was made specifically to keep CM Punk away from people.
Yeah.
They've admitted it. And
What,
now that
really?
CM Punk's gone, they don't need it.
Really?
Cap,
Yeah.
hang on. Cap, how much catching up do we need to do with you on the CM Punk situation?
From 2015?
Oh my god.
Should we let
Oh
Okay.
God, let's go. Let's go.
Well, let's
Okay.
do this. No, so the bullet point on the Bullet Club. So CM Punk came into AEW. The Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Cody Rhodes were executive vice presidents. Cody Rhodes left, and then Kenny Omega was injured. There's a wrestler who was world champion called Hangman Adam Page, and CM Punk clearly just power played, was like, I think I should be going for the world title now. Hangman Page was probably pissed that he was going to drop the title to Punk. The friends of the Young Bucks was a guy called Colt Cabana, who used to be the best friend of CM Punk. But then when they were both sued because he did that podcast where he shit on WWE, they weren't friends anymore. As soon as CM Punk debuted, Colt Cabana was suddenly just on Dark Elevation, which was their YouTube show that they used to do. And so then Hangman Adam Page called out CM Punk on live TV. Punk got pissed. Punk won the world title. Punk got injured. He came back. He ate muffins, got injured again, but then got into a backstage fight with half of the AEW roster that are in Team Young Bucks. Roll forward like 7 or 8 months. CM Punk's coming back. Tony Khan is a bit of a wuss, so can't deal with any conflict or confrontation at all. So created a whole new show just to keep CM Punk on a one-man roster split away from everyone else. It lasted 3 months. CM Punk then beat up Jungle Boy, quit, and went back to WWE. There you go.
Yeah, because it was so funny because like it was All Out where he had a fight with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Then he got suspended for like ages and disappeared for like a year. And then the same pay-per-view, the next year, he does it again.
Well,
Jack Perry.
Well, it was all in. It was all in. It went from All Out to All In 1 week before All Out. And then the day of, I think the day of or the day before All Out, they were literally in Punk's hometown of Chicago. Tony Khan then stood out in front of the live crowd and announced that CM Punk has been fired because he'd never felt so in his life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Yeah, for his life.
And then roll forward another 6 months, AEW, to try to pop the rating, showed the backstage footage from Wembley Stadium where Tony Khan, well, you didn't see Tony Khan, but where CM Punk lunged at Tony Khan by basically placing 1 foot forward and leaning over a table. So
these are all fake, right? You guys are talking about.
No,
This is the
legit.
best
No,
thing.
they're legit.
My
It's
theory
real.
for a year and a half was there is no way in the world of professional wrestling that this can't be some sort of elaborate plan.
Yeah,
See,
I mean,
No,
I mean,
Punk
Tony,
went back
I mean,
to
like,
WWE.
my
guys,
friend,
you get Tony Khan could be how you say a weak sauce, but like he's rich, he can hire bodyguards, and CM Punk is not that good of a fighter.
no,
Well,
but he's a
exactly,
fanboy,
that
so he
adds
won't.
to it all.
Can I just
No,
say?
see-
Can I just say? I thought that I was out of the loop by being 2 weeks behind.
Yeah. No, it's always fun to try to catch Capel Fave up with where things
God,
are.
Dave, if you're willing, like, Dave MC has been chatting with me as we do on the show, watching the show, and he like told me like he hasn't seen wrestling since 2005. Can you catch him up?
Wow. Okay, yeah,
No.
we'll do it. We'll get Dave MC on the show. He's never been on Slam Jam before. I
Yeah.
didn't know he'd ever seen it. Right. So anyway, so I don't even know where we're at. So yeah, so AEW might be shopping Shockwave. Hopefully they want it to go onto Fox, where obviously Fox just lost having SmackDown.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like 3 different channels, and they're gonna have 3 hours of wrestling on each week or something. Is that that's
Although
what sort of
I think it's either Bischoff or JBL that said Fox won't put AEW on their main Fox channel. They'll put it on Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, I can imagine it actually.
So JBL, he's everywhere on the indies at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is
Turned
what I
up in
referenced.
TNA, he turned
Yeah.
up at GCW, and this last weekend he turned up at MLW.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
Is
and
he
he's,
wrestling
he's
again? Is he
invested.
now
wrestling?
on tour of the indies.
Yeah.
See, the
Is he
best part is
wrestling?
he is
This is
legitimately
one of the things.
invested.
Go ahead, Dev.
Like JBL in real life, legitimately put money towards AAA. Like he's an investor in it now.
God.
Wow. Okay, so something I was going
Triple
to
A's
say.
one of the dirt worst companies in the world at the moment.
One of the things I was going to say, what isn't their champion Alberto El Patron?
Yeah.
You see the clips from that show? To see,
See,
that show?
it's so funny because that match was a rematch of Battleground 2015. It was Ziggler and Del Rio.
Oh yeah.
Ziggler Del Rio, but they also had like this mad like brawl match where Vampiro is just punching people, not selling anybody's chair shots or anything like that. And then at one point, it's a casket match or something. The baddies all open up one of the caskets, and LA Park, like La Parker, is in there with his eyes going like that around. And then they play Thriller by Michael Jackson as they've opened the casket.
Yeah.
And then they close the casket, and the music stops. It's like, no, that's your 10 seconds. We can't have any more than that. We can't always have to pay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's just like
That's
this weird
horrific.
thing. The bit where Vampiro's about to like win the match somehow, and he's looking around for a chair that hasn't been planted in the place he wanted it. He's literally shouting out, going, "Where's the chair? Where's the?"
See, that reminds me of when he won a match and they didn't play his theme, and he refused to leave the ring until he played the theme. It's like
he was getting up,
Vampiro.
he was called out, and he was on commentary.
Yeah,
and he's on the comms on the English broadcast, going, "Where's the fucking music? Play the fucking music!"
And was Matt Stryker his co-commentator?
Probably, yes.
Saying like, just get up, just go, man, go.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want my music. Yeah, I've seen that clip.
When Matt Stryker's the voice of reason, you got to worry.
Yeah. Okay, so one thing I was going to say about JBL, there's a few interesting things in terms of wrestlers popping up places or might be changing where they're going.
Yeah.
And with JBL, I remember 2 or 3 weeks ago there was a thing, Bubba Ray Dudley or someone from one of these like Busted Open or whatever was saying that he'd got some awareness. I think it was Bubba Ray, that JBL has got some plan and you've got to keep your eye on JBL, that it's going to unfold. So what is he doing? How is he going from TNA, which is obviously completely affiliated to WWE now, and to wherever else he was in between, AAA or whatever, to now being on MLW, who are literally in a lawsuit dispute with WWE? And where else may he turn up in AEW next? And what is this leading to? What is JBL's plan? How is this going to become a thing that truly he is a wrestling god and he is omnipotent and can appear anywhere? and what's his plan?
I think he's building a multiverse faction.
A what?
Multiverse faction.
A multiverse faction.
Well, do you know what? That'd be interesting. No, I don't know if I can find it actually, because there was a tweet from a couple of days ago. If I go on to replies, there was actually something quite funny on the front of what's his name on JBL. I don't know if I'll be able to find it now.
Is he wrestling? Is he wrestling or is he commentating?
He's turning up. He's hitting a clothesline. He's leaving.
He's whispering into Nick Nemeth's
ear. Yeah, he arrives, clothesline leaves.
Oh, and he whispered into the ear of Brock Anderson.
I want MLW. Yeah.
Who is now on NXT?
I don't know if I'll be able to find it because this was 2 or 3 days back, but there was like a tweet where someone said about JBL's last thing in wrestling was his association to Baron Corbin, and he responded saying something to the effect of he didn't want it to end like that, which is just so funny. It's like, what a slap in the face for Baron Corbin, that literally he's basically coming out of retirement and doing all this stuff in every promotion so that the last
I actually liked Baron Corbin's NXT run, and when he came to WWE with the same character, I liked it, but then he changed to the bald Baron Corbin with some weird guy, and I was like,
Well, he went back to NXT just recently, Cap, and he was in a team with
And teamed up with Braun Breaker.
Is his hair back?
who is like
Is
the
his
NXT
hair
champion.
back?
I don't know.
No.
He's got his hair back, but he actually was really. It was actually really good little run. He went back there to sort of just have a little challenge for the NXT title and all that sort of stuff. But he ended up teaming up with Braun Breaker, who's like the son of Rick Steiner Brothers, who's currently the Intercontinental Champion.
The weird thing is when I played
run.
The weird thing is when I played 2K19 or 20, I don't exactly remember, in the career mode, Baron Corbin somehow became my partner. And then he became my enemy. I don't want to be arch nemesis with this guy on NXT.
Yeah. But okay, so go for it, Dev.
It's funny that JBL said that because Kurt Angle said the same thing. He didn't want his last thing to be a Baron Corbin thing. So he wants to come back and do the Gable thing, join the Gable.
They should. It's crazy when you know that Kurt Angle wanted his last match to be John Cena, and they wouldn't go for it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, because Vince at the time was like, "You're in a program with Corbin. We've got to see it through." And in theory, that sounds okay. Yeah, you should finish the storyline. However, if it's a case of, well, Kurt Angle wants to retire, so he has to end it somewhere, and there's WrestleMania coming up, and John Cena wants to wrestle him because it would have stolen the show, even if Angle was a bit past it, because he would have pulled it out.
But the weird story is, right, like, Kurt Angle, even if he's not retired, feels like retired ages ago. So, what would be the point?
Just because we didn't watch TNA, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I did.
Wait, hold on. Has Cap not seen Kurt Angle?
I have,
Cap?
but like, I have.
Yeah. Have you seen Kurt Angle, member of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Kurt Angle as a member of the Shield? No.
Yeah. Oh my God! Okay, I've got to find the photo because Kurt Angle, he looked so happy to be there. He completely killed the moment.
It was brilliant, Cap. So Angle had just come back that year. So he'd been a general manager since the Hall of Fame that year. So it'd been about 7 or 8 months. And it was, I think it was TLC. Was it TLC the event?
I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that. So they had this whole thing happen where there was a couple of matches that were down to happen, but a couple of people got injured or were ill or something. And one of them was Roman Reigns, and they had this match where it was going to be the Shield versus I forget who it was against, but it might be Baron Corbin and somebody else. I'm not sure. But it was a 6-man match, and they suddenly announced that Kurt Angle was going to be in this match as teaming with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. So and he comes out with the Shield gear to the Shield music with them. He looks incredibly happy. He gets taken out about 5 minutes into the match. Oh, here we go. This is what he looked like. Yeah,
he was just so pleased.
Brilliant.
He'd been trying to come back for years. Do you know what? This stupid thing. You can't zoom in. It makes it smaller.
But yeah.
See, the first picture is the best one.
Well, this one.
If you go to the first picture,
that's the intro one. That's the intro one where they came out.
Yeah. Look at Ambrose's face. Look at John Moxley there, like intense, and look at Kurt Angle.
Oh my God!
But he got taken out about 5 minutes into the match, gone to the back. And it was a point where it was 3-on-2, and about 10 minutes later, it's looking all bleak. And suddenly, out goes this music. It comes back out in the full Angle like gear, and just
suplexes everyone
machine again.
Yeah, but like I feel like this is all how when was this?
This was I get what year, but
2016, 17.
Fun little tidbit though.
I probably would have seen this. I feel like how did I miss this?
Fun little tidbit of information though. That's the same show that was meant to have Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor in what was going to be the Demon versus Sister Abigail. Remember the promo going into that?
Yeah. Wait, didn't we get him? Wasn't Bray when they did eventually debut Sister Abigail? It was just Bray Wyatt, wasn't it?
That was there was a whole interview segment where he sort of kept switching between Bray and Sister Abigail in the background. But when it came to the show, he was also injured or ill or something like that. So they placed it with Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, which was a bit of a better match, quite frankly.
Yeah.
We were saved
but
from.
Didn't Finn Balor say he quit the Demon because it was hard to put on the makeup?
Yeah, I think so. It was.
Which is BS.
What are you doing, man?
He loves the makeup.
What are you doing?
No, you think.
Okay,
you
so
think,
I don't believe that for a second.
Go on. What's your
Because
theory?
I've known him for I've known him in person for quite a while, and he loves
Finn Balor.
the paint. Yeah,
No,
because he does
You know Finn Balor?
indie shows in London.
God damn, get him on the
He
show,
does indie
bro.
shows in London.
Call up your
I
friends.
used to see him at indie shows in London. I consider him a friend.
Yeah. Okay.
And then,
Let's
no.
get this
We
demon
went to
on
dinner
here.
like a few times, and we kept joking.
Well,
that,
hold on. You
can only be
dated
one
Finn
day.
Balor.
No,
This is an amazing discovery.
no,
Is
but
this
here's a
why
tidbit. You know who dated Becky Lynch, Finn Balor, and LA Knight.
Yeah.
Is this why his protege is called was originally before he became JD McDonuts was he used to be called Jordan Devlin? Is that why where the Dev bit comes from?
Yeah.
It's you.
That's why he's switching out of the darkness every time. He's now light side, he turns to
Yeah.
the demon side.
No, but I don't
What
believe
discovery?
the whole pain thing because he genuinely loves it. That's his favorite part of wrestling, putting on the face paint.
Yeah, I
Because
missed
like
out.
I think that was the intriguing thing. Again, I always say this, right? What's interesting about wrestling is the characters.
Hang on, guys. Sorry to interrupt here, right? On your bingo card of images you wouldn't have expected to have seen in 2024 or whatever. I don't want to get deep into this because it gets into the political thing. What the hell is this image, which is apparently Donald Trump with a Trump championship belt being given to him by the Funkasaurus?
Sweet tea.
Okay, so I can explain that. I can actually explain that.
Explain it, please.
The Funkasaurus, Bruce Clay, used to be is a political pundit on Fox Network, and when he was NWA champion, he used to bring the belt with him to every show.
Wow. Oh my god, I forgot they gave him the NWA World title.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I meant. Like NWA. Who's the NWA champion? Isn't it EC3?
Well, I was about to say, is it who's worse though? I think Tyrus is NWA champion or their new champion Bram.
Bram? I thought EC3 was the world champion.
No, just Thomas Latimer, which is Bram, beat him a few weeks ago.
Wow, I didn't know that at all. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, so something else in the news which I saw today. Dustin Rhodes, apparently his contract with AEW is up imminently. And there was something saying that he said he not done yet. He hopes negotiations go well. Now, I don't want to say that he was hinting at anything. He didn't say negotiations with where. Do you want to see him continue in AEW, or should he come back to WWE? And if so, I don't know. I think if he comes back to WWE, just wear the makeup he's wearing now. Be Dustin Rhodes. Finish your career there. If you go back to WWE. In AEW, I think hasn't he got 1 or 2 belts at the moment?
He's the Ring of Honor Tag Team and Trios champion.
Yeah. So they've given him 2 titles currently, like with Sammy Guevara.
I say stay there. And end it there.
Wow.
One more little run with Cody. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel look at the situation. Everything bloodline. It just feels like Cody needs a little bit of backup. Because if Cody
okay, so here's the story. Goldust comes back in and corrupts Cody Rhodes back into Stardust.
No. Right.
Are you saying that should they need an extra pair of hands for the inevitable War Games match at Survivor Series? Which obviously one side will be Solo and Jacob and the Gorillas of Destiny and somebody else. I'm guessing Hikuleo when he eventually joins.
Yeah.
Against Roman, Cody, Jey Uso. I don't know what's happened with Jimmy Uso because apparently,
I'm going to touch on that. Now you say that. Go ahead. Yeah.
But whatever happened with Jimmy Uso, and the whole thing about possibly getting Sami Zayn involved. Maybe Dustin could be involved. He's a War Games veteran.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, oh yeah, on that sense, that'd be great. Right, so let's just quickly address the Jimmy Uso thing. If you guys saw it yesterday on like Twitter,
Did he get arrested again?
No, well, I don't know. I hope not. Right? Well, like I'd rather that than what everyone else was thinking. Rikishi shared something with a video or something of Jimmy Uso saying, "Guys, pray for Jimmy right now," and literally everyone was like, "Shit, is like something terrible happened to him." And then, like an hour later, like someone like wrestling journalists or whatever got in touch with WWE, who then got in touch with Jimmy Uso to check that he was fine for like why his dad Rikishi is saying everyone pray for him. Like, what was that even about? Everyone got freaked out.
Everyone pay for him because I'm about to beat his ass.
And look, and I'll be honest, just because of the family connection. I don't know if you guys remember this at the time, but when Umaga passed away, it for a few hours beforehand, it was actually like the news had broke onto Twitter that he's in a really bad way, and it was a painful evening as a wrestling fan because it was like, oh, what's the update? And I was like, I really hope he pulls through or whatever. And then Umaga passed away, and so seeing Rikishi post about pray for Jimmy Uso, I was just like, oh my god, is it one of these horrible situations again?
Rikishi's like just constantly moaning to people about the way that Jey Uso's being used, things like that at the moment. So he's really just he's constantly, and obviously the fact that Jimmy's not on television at the minute, hasn't been since the SmackDown after Mania. It's he just seems to be it's very dangerous to put that sort of like thing out there when it's just a case of him worrying about how his son's being pushed on television and the fact that he's not on television right now. I'm sure they've got a plan to bring him back at some point, surely.
Especially because
go ahead.
Like again, the situation is eerily similar to 2007 as well. So that's why WWE was like, shit, get on it now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. You don't want anything where people start speculating and watching things as it's happening in real time with whatever. What I was going to say though,
when the bloodline started happening, I remember when the Shield had their best opponents, the Usos. I was like, guess they made up.
Well, yeah, but like, so the thing with bringing back Jimmy Uso, what's the booking of Jey Uso? Unfortunately, like Jey Uso is one of these guys that, in the contention to dethrone Roman, wasn't the anointed one who it became, and he is still going to be waiting in the wings for whatever's happening in the bloodline to play out now, because if they don't do bloodline versus bloodline, NWO Black and White versus NWO Wolfpack, basically. And it's such a shame that you could say the Wolfpack version is they've got the Samoan werewolf there, literally, right? They could actually play into that if they wanted. But you've got Roman who stands alone. The Rock is a question mark of, well, is he going to come in and, Blood Brothers Roman? Is he going to team with Roman, or is he going to go against Roman? But it seems obvious that you bring back the Usos, both of them, Sami Zayn, Roman, and then you could have The Rock there with Roman, but I think that team is then too overpowered. Because then you've got Solo, Tongaloa, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu, and then the other Haku-san, who I can't even remember what his name is. Dave, fill me in here.
Hikuleo in New Japan, but there was a thing a few months ago saying they'd trademarked a name that might be his new name.
No, do you know how you even the odds when that happens? If Roman Reigns brings in the Rock, Bloodline Wolfpack need to bring in Haku.
Oh my god! Imagine if they actually look. Okay, so why isn't Haku? Why isn't Rikishi literally on TV? So. Look, they could bring in Haku. Okay, so who is it they just did a Legends deal with? What was his name? That was the manager of Umaga.
Oh, Armando Alejandro Estrada.
Yes, Estrada, right. So bring in Estrada, put him with Jacob Fatu and the others, right? Then you can
Have
bring
Paul
in
Heyman
his
be on the other side.
counterpoint. Then you bring in his counterpoint, which is Paul Heyman. Then Team Solo brings in Haku with his sons. And then the Usos can bring in Rikishi. Like, this is literally the last 5 minutes of WrestleMania where more people started coming out. They could literally do this with the entire bloodline. It would be amazing. Just imagine when Haku came out and literally took out everyone.
I mean,
Like,
he can
Solo.
hardly walk right now, but it's
Yeah. Wait, what's that?
I was saying
Including
Rikishi
Solo.
can barely walk, but it's,
That's the real show.
Yeah, health. I mean, like, they're how old are they, Rikishi and Haku?
I don't know.
Oh, Haku's immortal, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, Haku is immortal.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything about Haku. Haku can fucking go. He can do what he wants. He can do whatever you want, Mr. Haku. Whatever you want. I'm sorry.
I can't even remember what it was now. I'm going to see if I can find it, right? Did you see that, like, a few months ago, there was a movie that's got Haku in it? I think it's got a few wrestling personalities in it. I'm going to find it. But there is, like, a movie, and it's just like, why isn't Haku doing movies? Let's see if I can find out what it's going to be. References. Okay, on IMDb. Let's find out what this movie is. We did watch the trailer on this show a few months ago. If he's on it. The Unbreakable Bunch, and he plays King Tonga. Let's get this. The Unbreakable Bunch.
King Tonga, isn't it? That's his original name.
Okay, so let's bring this up. Yeah, like it looks terrible. I'm not going to lie. But let's see if we can find it.
Joking, Mr. Haku. He's joking.
Okay, but guys, just whilst I'm finding this, was there any other like major things in wrestling that we haven't touched upon that I've completely skipped?
I need to ask, what happened to Sheamus?
Sheamus? Well, he's getting in better shape again. He looks awful.
Yeah. He gave up the burgers and he's fighting Pete Dunne.
Okay, hang on.
Does he have a fitness YouTube channel?
Fitness? Well,
Yeah.
look, before we start body shaming Sheamus, right? He's still Sheamus. Like, his bad shape is still in incredibly good shape. Right, so let's bring up the Shield. And look, let's bring this movie up. So you'll see who's in it. The Unbreakable Bunch. If this is the movie, because it looks a bit... It looks more wrestling based than what I thought. So look, a meteor is coming to the Earth. I don't know who that... I hope this is an okay trailer.
Haku has got the egg.
Alien comes out. And who could you get to fight the aliens? But Haku.
Was that PCO just then as well?
Ernest Miller.
Ernest Miller, look at the cat. Yeah, he's in there.
Is there other people in this? I don't recognise them, to be honest.
I'll see.
No. But
I'm going to show you the list.
The Unbreakable Bunch. I am
God.
sort of expecting Haku and Ernest Miller and other wrestlers to be sort of in like a Brady Bunch.
okay, hang on. Let's see what comes up here. Yeah, so these are the Unbreakable Bunch.
Is PCO there as
Dallas
well?
Page. Oh my God.
Oh, Dallas Page.
Yeah, Dallas Page is in it. See, the cat Ernest Miller, he was in The Wrestler.
He was.
Larry Zbyszko. Hang on, let's see that list again. I didn't see Larry Zbyszko. Can I pause it? Yeah, Stan Hansen.
Stan Hansen?
Yeah, didn't you see him?
No.
Okay, hang on. Let's bring it up. There you go.
Ron Reese. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stan Hansen's there. Okay, I don't know who's what. David Heath, is that Vampiro? Gangrel. Oh yeah, not Vampiro. I wanted to Vampire Warrior. Dallas Page. What a cast! What an amazing cast. Haven't seen it. Probably never will, if I'm honest. But still, what a lineup.
There should be an expendable movies with wrestlers.
Well, I think that's a little bit what it was going for there. You know.
Yeah, this basically seems like that. Yeah.
Okay, so we are building up to Bad Blood pay-per-view, and we're going to have.
Is
that main roster or NXT?
That's main roster.
Main roster. So it's like
Cody and Roman against Solo and Jacob for 2.
Yeah.
And it's Drew versus Punk, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Who's winning this between Drew and Punk? Bit early for predictions because I'm not even sure when the show is. WWE.
Who's got? Oh wait, McMahon is gone. Like if McMahon was around, I would have asked like who's got the most muscles.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. None of this matters anymore because look, the poster for it literally is Punk and Drew. I don't know who wins this. Like in one sense, I think Drew has to win it rather than Punk.
Who's doing the most steroids?
Drew.
Okay, then he's winning.
For legal reasons, neither of them.
That's true.
I think possibly Punk, just because that's a sort of him versus Gunther is a slightly better match to sort of build towards. I think for Survivor Series, maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
Different and new match, you know.
Okay, so I think we were speaking about this. I forget it was Dev, Cap. You were on the show last week, right? I think we touched on this. I think what we were saying, Dave, was because I don't know if you'd have seen this if this was when you were honeymooning and stuff, but Punk came out, cut the promo where he was like, I turned my attention to Gunther. And that's when Drew came out, destroyed his bracelet. Actually, that was quite a few weeks back.
That was I have seen that because that was when it was commentated as oh my god, it's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, if Punk is basically building up to probably beat Gunther for the title, which I don't know if I'm happy with, it looks like they're going to return to Punk versus Seth for next year's WrestleMania Night 1 main event. I think it's the only way they get there, but we were saying last week, what happens to Gunther? Because UK champion forever, Intercontinental champion forever, and then this will be a disappointingly short world title reign.
I don't think he's losing the title to Punk. I just said it'd be
no, he's not. Literally, like this isn't Tony Khan. Triple H and Tony Khan. You won't be scared of him.
No, but then how do you get to Punk versus Seth main eventing night 1, or do we?
They both eliminate each other from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, or like
why would they main event if there's no title on the line? I don't think you can have Seth versus Punk main event without a world title.
No, you could, because you could literally start it from Seth's reaction to his debut, where he was fucking pissed.
There's history there, and look, and then when they had Drew with Seth being the referee, Seth has got to come back and deal with Bronson Reed, so he's got a couple of months of distraction there. But I don't know how you get to. Go ahead, Dev.
Like, okay, so from what I've heard, Becky and Seth's absence will be long term. They're both taking a parenting absence. So, apparently, like, ideally, like, possibly, they were just using Bronson as an excuse to write him off, and they're not going to follow up on that.
Yeah. Oh, they have to. They can't leave that loose end.
Yeah.
So, say you could segue out of that if somehow Seth did something backstage with Punk, and he's like, "Well, I'm going out to my match with Bronson." Punk interferes. Bronson gets the win. He then moves on. Seth then wants revenge on Punk. But I still don't think that's a WrestleMania Night 1 main event without the world title.
The reason I say that they'll forget about Bronson Reed is Bronson Reed has taken out like 35 different people. Like, all of them can't be coming back for revenge against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Seth Rollins. He was the first one out, and he's the main eventer. So there's going to be some kind of match, at least a feud of some kind, an angle of some kind. And
I mean,
they can easily do that Survivor Series, have him win against Bronson, then it just goes to Royal Rumble. And if it's a case of Punk's in the Rumble, he wins, and Seth is the one that beats Gunther at the Royal Rumble, maybe.
Okay,
like I want Seth versus Drew, but I don't want the same bullshit of Punk versus Drew that lasted through fucking 5 continents.
Well, yeah. So what happens to Gunther in the world title for WrestleMania? Is Gunther main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania? Because I don't actually think it happens unless it's a 3-way with Punk, or maybe it's a 4-way. Maybe it's Gunther, Punk, Drew, and and Seth, and they all get to main event at WrestleMania, and then you'll have The Rock versus Roman, or Rock versus Cody, or Cody versus Roman 3, or whatever, main event night 2.
I wouldn't be
I
against
may be
that.
putting this on my ass, but hasn't traditionally the night 1 main event always been a non-title story main event, and night 2 has been the title match?
Well, yeah, like the Usos, Sammy and KO was tag titles, but I agree, right? But then we've had women's world title, like main event night 1 a couple of times, I think.
Who's the top girl now?
The top girl.
Yeah.
Well,
You could say
Rhea Ripley. You know, it's between the two in WWE. Like everything, Cap. If you try to catch up with one thing in WWE, the story of Dominic Mysterio, the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan is worth it.
Yeah.
Like again, let me do my very quick catch up. Rey Mysterio was tagging with his son Dominic. The Judgment Day, I assume you know who they are. So Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest. Okay, people at the time started off with Edge, but we don't need to go back that far. Rhea Ripley started getting into the ear of Dominic. He turned Dominic against his dad, Rey Mysterio, right? Okay, so now Rhea Ripley is the girlfriend of Dominic Mysterio. Literally just for YouTube or Twitter, they film a segment, or maybe it was on TV as well, but this is where I first saw it. For like Thanksgiving, Dominic Mysterio turns up to his parents' family home and terrorizes them, you know, for Thanksgiving. It's like, hey, I'm coming home for the holiday sort of thing. Terrorizes Rey and his wife or whatever. A month later, it's Christmas. Dominic Mysterio turns back up for the holidays. His mother calls the police on him. Dominic Mysterio gets taken away by the police. He's in jail overnight, but then they transform his whole character as if he's hardened by being in prison. And whenever Dominic Mysterio went on the mic, he's like, hey, when I was inside, I learned this, or in the yard, they'd always say this. It was brilliant. Whispering stuff into his ear, turning him against the dad. They had a great.
So you're saying like
match at WrestleMania.
So he came out of prison as a goth chick?
No, Dominic didn't come out as a goth chick. Rhea Ripley is the goth chick that.
But like he acted like he's been spent 10 years in prison. And David, I don't know if you know the best part.
Yeah, go on.
During a flight, him and MVP were sitting next to each other, and Dominic was really bragging about how prison was really hard and stuff. And MVP is like, I've been in prison in real life. Shut up.
Well, look, okay, so anyway, Judgment Day then get really over. Every time Dominic goes to speak on the mic, the audience learn to boo him out the building, right? But more and more, especially Rhea, is really getting over. Damian Priest really getting over. But then Rhea gets injured legitimately. She has to vacate the women's world title where she'd been the champion for like a year. And and she gets injured while she's in a feud with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan starts trying to get in the ear of Dominic. Rhea Ripley eventually comes back, but there's so many little things. Liv Morgan gets knocked off the apron, lands on top of Dominic. Dominic's like, oh my God. He then gets married in real life. And literally, on TV, he's got a thing going on with Liv Morgan. He's got another thing going on with Rhea Ripley, and he gets married in real life. And then...
Who did he marry to in real life?
Someone else.
Okay, yeah. And then, Rhea comes back, beats up Liv Morgan. Liv is the world champion now. And Rhea is coming back to fight Liv Morgan. But then Dominic turns on Rhea. And so Rhea is kicked out of the Judgment Day. The same night, I believe, Damian Priest loses the world title to Gunther when Finn Balor kicks him out the Judgment Day. So you've got none of the originals from the Judgment Day are in the Judgment Day anymore. But yeah, this whole saga.
Yeah,
Dominic
but at least we've gone to.
So it's basically The Bachelors with Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. Also,
Why
two
not?
things.
In a way.
Two things I just realized, right? Rhea and her husband have dated both Mysterio siblings.
Wait, say this again. Rhea
Yes,
and
Rhea and her husband have both dated Mysterio siblings.
Mysterio siblings.
So James,
Yeah,
when
because-
Buddy Murphy had a very brief dalliance with the Mysterio daughter
No way.
in on TV.
On TV.
Wait, Mysterio's daughter was on TV.
Yeah, this was
Leah.
on. Was this
Mysterio
just
has a
before-
son and a daughter. Oh.
This would have
Remember
been just
when,
before lockdown, wouldn't it?
Remember when Ray
Yeah,
lost
I
his
don't
eye?
remember that at all. Oh my god.
When the
that
Seth Rollins thing.
that I actually rank as within my top 5 worst moments in wrestling history from WWE or AEW or WCW. The whole eye for an eye match. Seth Rollins has to extract the eyeball of Rey Mysterio against the side of the stairs. He's literally holding like a golf ball. He's just holding this thing there. And it looks pathetic, but the idea of it I thought was disgusting. I don't.
So
to
when
me-
did Rey Mysterio come back without the eye patch? Did they say, "Oh my God, we invented new surgery. We can reconnect,
No, that
attach
happened during the
eyeballs."
pandemic. It was during the pandemic, and I think they just forgot about it at a certain point.
Although I will say this,
No, it was-
Money in the Bank 2020 was the greatest show ever made.
No. What
It was
with
amazing. Like
The-
the money in the
Doink
building.
Town? They
That's
didn't
not-
even
The money
get
in the
the
building
Doink
Money
match.
Oh, so
Yeah,
the
just
bit-
go back to whenever that was and watch the Slam Jam episode when we were reviewing that, because you can see the absolute abject disdain in my whole being when we're describing that Money in the Bank match.
Well, yeah, like there was some fun ideas in it, but didn't Rey Mysterio get thrown off the top of Titan Towers and like effectively
Alistair
murdered?
Black did.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Both did.
Dave, can you give a brief of your feelings about that Money in the Bank? Just a brief.
All right, this is a brief rundown of what happened. So both Money in the Bank matches happened at the same time. They all started off downstairs at the Titan Tower. They all go upstairs. They all jump off things. They go into a room that Stephanie McMahon is in, talking to the girls, despite the fact she's clearly filmed her bit on a fucking iPhone. And Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles go into a dark room, which has got like spooky Undertaker stuff, which scares AJ Styles. They also get told off by Vince McMahon, basically being wrestlers. You have a weird Doink the Clown coming out from behind a plant pot, which isn't Doink the Clown because Doink the Clown isn't around anymore, and it's just some random extra that just came out of there for no reason. And then you had the soul. The soul highlight. The whole thing was when all the women's competitors and the men competitors suddenly got into a shouting match. They all tried to get past each other, and Shayna Baszler just grabbed Rey Mysterio and choked him out. It was hilarious. And then they go up to the top. Dominic, as Rey Mysterio gets thrown off.
Oh, that's
Keep going.
Mick Foley's
I
daughter's
just wanted to illustrate
husband.
this point.
So Rey Mysterio gets thrown off of the roof into a pool by Baron Corbin, as does Aleister Black. They all go into this bit where Asuka pulls down the briefcase, wins her match, and then AJ Styles pulls down the briefcase, but then it slips out of his hand, and Otis catches it, and he wins.
And then he doesn't even cash in the contract ever.
No,
He loses it in a lawsuit to The Miz.
Where his tag team partner turned on him, and his tag team partner was released 3 weeks later.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. Look. So, what were they doing with this Doink thing? Let's just bring this up.
Okay, so that Doink, that isn't
They were
Doink.
doing
That
nothing.
is.
That's the whole
No, I
point.
know it's not Doink. There's nothing
but
about it that is
no.
Doink.
There is something specific about this character, though. That is Mick Foley's daughter's husband,
No, it isn't.
known as Frank the
It's
Clown.
It's not Frank the Clown.
Is it not?
No, it's
I
not.
thought it
It's
was.
some
Okay.
random. Frank the Clown's never worked for WWE.
Okay, so but here's the thing. So here's actual Doink, right? Look at the makeup. Why is the mouth going literally underneath the chin? They couldn't even get like a reference photo to get this right. Oh my god, it's so bad.
It's
Maybe it's James Ellsworth.
It's the wig as well. The wig's not even right. It's like
The wig's not right. Nothing about it is right.
The wig had a baldy bit. It's like, God's sake.
Yeah.
Maybe
Anyway,
it's James Ellsworth.
it was the worst match of the year. That whole thing. It's just terrible.
Oh, the Thunderdome.
Also, is the Undertaker still coming up for WrestleMania, or is he just fully done?
No, the Undertaker's done. Like,
No,
who
the
knows?
Undertaker will only
What's up
come
this
up
year?
with Saudi money.
I've got a sneaking suspicion that Undertaker might still want one more
But-
WrestleMania.
But guys, like people like the Undertaker, Kane, right? Can't you recreate the character?
No.
They
They
did you
tried.
not remember when they tried that with Diesel and Razor Ramon?
But look, so in
We're too
terms
young
of
for that
the
one, Cap.
Undertaker, look, what you can say in terms of can't you just if you want to recapture it, then it's different. But what you then have is something like Bray Wyatt's Fiend, and now they've got his brother as Uncle Howdy. So now you'll have these mysterious characters that sometimes do powers beyond wrestling, but you'll never get something, in my opinion. Look, in AEW, look at the House of Black and everything they did, what they did with Aleister Black when they got him. The Dark Order, you can have any of these things where it's meant to be dark and mysterious gimmicks. I don't think any of them will ever work as well as The Undertaker because the times have changed.
I'm saying like redo the Undertaker. Let's say that he found the Fountain of Youth and the dead man is now back. Just get a big tall guy and the one who can act.
Again, they tried that.
I don't remember when they did Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Yeah,
I don't think it was born then. What year was that? Because Cap might not have been born during that.
No, that was
I saw it in a DVD,
Yeah.
but I wasn't born then.
I can't believe, okay, just on this, they did Undertaker versus Undertaker, and it utterly flopped, stunk out the building, and then like 20 years later, they were like, let's bring in another Kane and do Kane versus Kane, and it bombed even worse. It was so bad, and wasn't it Festus?
Yeah, both times they had plans. Both times they had plans for these angles to go longer, and they bombed so badly that they just stopped.
Okay, so I found out the real plan for the fake Kane. The fake Kane was supposed to be the See No Evil character coming to life and attacking Kane.
I've also heard he was supposed to be the third brother of destruction.
Ooh, that would be
If
nice.
they've got the right, okay, who could have they got to do that? And look, maybe there's a lot of people because if you look at Isaac Yankem and the fake Diesel, and if that's all we'd ever seen, and Kane had never existed, they said, "Oh, if we were sitting here pitching, who could have been Undertaker's brother?" And they're like, "Oh, Isaac Yankem was a big guy." We'd say that was trash. So if they'd got like someone along the way,
a big guy who's good looking and is a good actor.
Good looking. I don't think that's a requirement to be a brother of destruction, right? But if they've got like some big dead weight like Nathan Jones,
I want to think
the right thing with him.
I think either Canyon or Test.
I think Canyon's too short. Like Canyon and Test, they're like huge guys, but they're like 6'5", 6'6". I think you have to have at least 7 foot for Kane and Undertaker. But look, here's the answer, guys. Blue Kane. Blue Kane. This is the answer. Yeah.
I'm the blue flame, the one that.
No, that's the real guy. That's
He's
the real guy. He wrestled Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
That's what I said right recently. Yeah, Blue K came out to a goth version of I-465's Blues. Dabba-dee-dabba-da.
But to be honest, guys, like that was the thing that actually attracted me to wrestling. I would say, like, yo, you got the Undertaker, like the dead man. And I like those gimmicks. They were fun to watch. And Jeff Hardy was also a nice thing, like the emo goth guy who does high diving and stuff. And then it all just went away, and it became Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. What are their characters? Nothing. Bloodline or something shit like that. But you get like the Viper, the Rattlesnake. I want more stuff like that.
Well, hang on. Look, like the Viper. Like honestly, other than what Jake the Snake Roberts, right? He came out with a snake. What makes
Randy moves like a snake,
other than that he gets on his like, oh, I'm watching.
Randy moves like a snake. It's so
he
awesome.
Doesn't do anything
like
snake related.
No, the sudden RKO literally looks like a Cobra Strike. That's why.
Yeah. It's like
fair point. I don't
Randy
mind
was
that one. Fair
such
point.
underrated when he does like character work. The reason why I like Randy is like it's like a human snake walking and fighting, and I love that bit.
Yeah.
In fact, I can't really talk because my favorite wrestler changes characters every 2 years.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Who's that?
Hi guys.
Oh, Jericho.
Yeah.
Wow. The look on Dave's face. This is what I always say on these shows. Look, let's
the second time you disappointed me in the last 5 minutes, Dev. Saying that Money in the Bank 2020 was a classic, and now you're saying
guys,
Jericho's your favorite wrestler.
That's why I always have to say, look, let's keep to on-screen characters. Otherwise, we'll get like if we talk about Blue Cane or whatever.
Hey, what happened to Jericho? What did he do?
Long story.
That's too much of a story. Too much of a story. Right.
Long
okay.
story.
No, it's all good now. Cap, who is your favorite wrestler?
John Cena, Undertaker.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton.
People from 2005.
Yeah.
Backwards.
Okay, Dave, who is your favorite wrestler, either of all time or current?
Oh, I'll go current for the moment. I mean, Gunther's always up there because I just like the fact that every time he wrestles, it feels like an event. I think AEW are really enjoying the Beast Mortos. He's brilliant.
Okay, yeah, I've been
brilliant. You want a character, Cap? You want a character? Watch AEW and watch the Beast Mortos. He's a Mexican wrestler who used to be called Black Taurus, and he's basically got this massive mask with lots of hair coming out of it, lots of like straps across him, like Demolition from the 80s, but slightly more modern.
He's like the modern Mantle.
And he's got this demented like warthog sort of like mask and things like that. And you can see him, and basically just walks around backstage.
David, show me who this guy is.
I'm finding the image. Don't worry.
Brilliant wrestler as well. He's so good. So
Dave,
good.
so you know when you said
guys, look, whatever's going on, just bear with me. It's all going to happen. Right. So Cap Dave, Dave's current wrestler in WWE. If you want it summed up in one image,
AEW.
Here we go.
That's Mantle.
Okay, so Mantar.
No, Beast Mortos is son of Mantar.
Dude, that looks cool. That looks cool.
Great.
Dave, you're right. That
Brilliant.
looks cool. He's a Minotaur. I'm for that shit.
He's
if
absolutely
you want characters,
brilliant.
Cap, you go to AEW.
Yeah.
Also, I really want to know now this has happened. I need to know Dave's opinion. Have you seen All In?
All In? I was there.
Yeah.
That Wembley Stadium.
Sorry, All Out.
I've not seen All Out yet, but I know various bits that have happened. I've still not watched it.
Because I need to know your opinion on the last two matches.
Okay, I haven't seen them, so I have no opinion.
On which matches, Dev?
Swerve and the other Daniel Bryan.
But I'm assuming you want my opinion about plastic bags and
yes.
needles.
Yes.
I've not seen the context of either of them, so I don't know.
Do you know what? Well, like we were discussing this before. For me, I don't think they should have done either spot because I think a couple of weeks later, that's all people are talking about, and I think it undermines a lot to do those things in the shows, right? And also, like I think it was Booker T or someone a couple of days ago was saying, like, you know, he doesn't want his kids watching stuff with hypodermic needles because, you know, that gets people into trouble. It kills people. You know, if people are getting involved with like needles and drugs and stuff like that. I agree. It was like a video nasty to me. Like
not too much.
Yeah, it to me it went too far. It went too far because it's like it just solidifies how much I don't like Adam Hangman Page anymore. Basically, right?
Isn't he the guy who drank blood? Yes, you said on the previous
drank blood. Yeah, I never. Do you know what? Like, I didn't like him because I was on Team CM Punk, but after he drank the blood, I was like, I can't, you know. But
unless David, there was a guy in ECW I remember who was a vampire guy. Terrible, but like I kind of thought they would do something.
Oh my god, you're remembering? What was his name? Kevin Thorne.
Yeah, Kevin Thorne.
Yeah,
I remember on ECW. I was just thinking. Hang on, I don't remember him in 95, 96. What's it? That guy.
Yeah, like so they had Gangrel.
WWECW, you mean? Okay.
Yeah,
Gangrel was such a good gimmick, right? and then they did this cheap knockoff rather than just bring back actual Gangrel whilst he could still go.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what was I going to say? I've completely forgotten. Something about AEW.
Yeah, about about it being too far, violence and all that sort of stuff.
I forget to be honest. Right, guys, we can begin to wrap things up momentarily. Let me just check to see if there's any breaking headlines and things.
Dave, also let me know. Type in the name of the wrestler you just said, the Minotaur.
Oh, I will do. Yeah, I'll message it to you.
I mean, like, I want to see cool stuff like that. That's what I liked about wrestling. Cool stuff.
You do see good stuff on AEW. Everyone does have their issues with AEW, and they definitely are there. But they're if you want fun in ring stuff,
character work is
AEW
AEW.
fun like character in there too. So
like even the women's division has Toni Storm, who's a parody of 1910s black and white actresses.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
Noir.
I was speaking about Randy Orton. I just wanted to get your opinion. Randy Orton's going to be on NXT as well. They're on the CW.
Wait, Randy's going to NXT?
He's going to do one match against this young guy called Javon Evans, who's like a really who's very, very good high flyer.
What's up with the mustache? Randy's mustache.
Isn't that old news? I think that's old news.
Okay.
But no, his latest thing is that he's the heaviest he's ever been at the moment. He's bulking around 290 pounds at the moment. And there was an interview, I think he recently said that while he was over in France or something for a European tour, he consumed a couple of jars of Nutella. And he really likes Nutella at the moment. He just keeps, and it's one of the reasons he's bulked up to nearly 300 pounds is because he can't get enough of Nutella.
So he can't move now anymore.
He moves still. He still does his thing as he always does. But he's it's the CW's premiere of NXT is on October the 1st, Tuesday night, and that's going to be with Randy Orton against Javon Evans and title match between Ethan Page defending against Trick Williams with CM Punk as a special guest referee, and Roxanne Perez against Julia for the NXT Women's title. So
also, I wouldn't mind if Punk goes back to his old god hair and pin in his lip and get back to the
I see. Yeah.
He's too old for that shit.
I would love it.
Yeah. He did that sort of when he was in his AEW run. He did a couple of things where he did homages to his old ROH character and things like that. So he came out in the big shorts and came out to his old music that he used to come out to via AFI.
Yeah.
Right now, what's the best theme music now? Because I also feel after 2000,
anything by Def Rebel.
What?
anything by Def Rebel.
Anything by Def Rebel that we actually remember?
Okay, who's got the best theme? I don't remember who sung what song. So who's got the best theme currently?
Yeah.
Currently, I don't know, but before I would say Edge, Kane, who else? And also the Raw theme music.
Okay,
I really like.
So I'm gonna be biased and say Mina Shirakawa because it's a ripoff of Fast and Furious.
Wow, I don't remember it. I think
Shinsuke's whole violin.
Shinsuke's music was really good. I don't know if he's still using it. I haven't seen Shinsuke in ages.
No, he came back to it. Yes, he is still using it.
He's using the good
I think his brother is doing MMA. I think his brother is doing
Shinsuke's
MMA.
got a brother that does MMA.
Yeah, he also did MMA.
Shinsuke was one of the original Inokiism people who did MMA and wrestling.
Yeah.
So I can't believe I've actually said who's got the best theme at the moment, and no one has done this.
Oh, Joe Hendry. Right, okay. Cap, if you haven't seen it, you obviously don't believe, but you should check out Joe Hendry. He got his theme tune to chart number 3 in the UK singles charts, and he got it to the top 1 or 2 of Apple iTunes charts in both the UK and the US. It was crazy. And because the funny thing about Joe Hendry is, it's kind of a one-trick pony thing, because the only reason he's doing so well at the moment is because of that he's got this singing, I can make up songs and sing my theme tune gimmick. And it's a bit like when Bobby Roode had the glorious theme tune
new Alliance
that everyone loved it. And it's like, well, I don't think people are going to love this beyond the theme
Okay,
tune once.
so they've muted it in TNA and they've muted it in WWE. He still does it in TNA, but his gimmick is, you know how Max Caster has a rap for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Joe Henry has a song for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing that for years. I think I was on the show a few months ago, and I was just me and David, and I was chatting about his history. Yeah, he's been doing absolutely ages, that sort of thing.
Also, like, I saw a recent clip of, not a recent, I don't know when this, but like Kane saying like, what is his best workout music? And he goes like, yeah, his theme music is like best. And I gave it a try. It is. It's actually really good. I don't really typically listen to music while I work out.
Kane has the best music for a workout.
No, he said that, and I tried, and I was like, yeah,
you know who actually does?
Is Roman's theme updated?
Yes,
I don't like it as much.
It's the bam. Like, I don't know.
I don't like
the best workout music is still
we can begin to wrap things here, guys. One thing I've seen here, apparently Ken Shamrock has signed a Legends deal with WWE. So hopefully, I'd like to see him inducted into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't mind him turning up in the Royal Rumble. You know, wouldn't mind like one last hurrah from
I'd like
Ken
to see him fight Haku to the death and see who wins.
Yeah, why not?
The death.
Okay. Other than that, I don't think there's any major breaking last minute news.
Not a lot.
No.
So let's find out where we can find everyone on socials. Cap, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Swan Beats, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And this Sunday is going to be a video with Nick Stevens. It's about toonies, loonies, and all hella roonies. And Dave just sent me a clip of the Minotaur guy, and it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dev.
They can find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT. And my wrestling recommendation is El Hijo de Vikingo, who was in AEW and he faced Kenny Omega, the most athletic luchador of recent memory.
Oh, Vikingo. I think he doesn't look like a wrestler. I've got issues with him. When he was debuting and Tony Khan was like, oh, this is a dream match. And then he came out, I was just like, this guy looks like trash. Like, hang on, let me just find this image. Like, there's 1%. Viking. Every image that comes up is okay. So I've got to put in the word wrestler. Like, I've got
El Hijo del Vikingo as well.
Yeah. Okay. So,
but he's been off from injured for a while now, isn't he? He's coming back soon, I think.
There was a two tag team called I don't know if I forgot. Is it the Ascension? They were like the World of Warcraft characters. They were like from the wasteland, Mad Max kind of guys. What happened to them?
World of Warcraft characters. I never heard them described as that. That's brilliant.
No, Mad Max. He means Mad Max.
Mad Max more than that. Yeah.
Right. Look, Cap. I'm going to show you one picture that's going to sum up both about Vikingo for why I take issues with him.
Vikingo.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So look. First of all, to answer both questions or both points in one fell swoop, right? For one, why I don't think Vikingo is a.
I think that's a name, David. It's a name. Just gives it away. It's bad. It's bad.
So look at this dude. It's like, oh, this is one of the best wrestlers in the world. It's like, so you see that's one of the best wrestlers in the world. And to answer your question about the Ascension or whatever they were, right? Take a look at what real wrestlers are meant to look like. Boom! Not
okay. They were like that was a nice rehash in the 2010s. The Ascensions were a nice rehash.
It was like you'd got like Russian dolls and you took off the Road Warriors and inside came out the Ascension, and then you took off the shell again of the Ascension and you go along the way and eventually you come to Vikingo.
I would say, like, instead of Vikingo, right?
Yeah, I feel such a shit saying it because Vikingo is genuinely very talented. But when they said about, oh my god, Dream Match, and then that guy came out.
But David, like, I would say go the Warhammer route. Name him like Ragnar, the Black Mane, or something like that.
I don't know. Anyway, Dave, where can the people find you?
Oh, so I'm distracted. I'm just now picturing how many layers you had to go through before you got from Road Warriors to Ascension. How many more wrestlers you get to before you got to Vikingo? Demolitions surely were there before Ascension. Anyway, well, I've got a new name now, David Jervis Green. So just Google that. I'm doing some improv tomorrow night in Billericay. I'll have all details about that in Extreme Improv, which will be on at 8:30. And for wrestling stuff and stuff like that, find me on X at Dagrino.
Yeah, but see, okay, last thing I'll say.
Finally addressed it as X.
Right, so so when you have the Powers of Pain and Demolition and the Road Warriors, it's like none of them were embarrassments, right? None of them were like, they all kind of existed. When you had the Ascension came out, it's like they hadn't even hit the gym. Like, anyway. Now, so look, they're not watching this. They might be. They're not up to anything else. Right, okay, so my name's
Dave. If they had my body shape, then yeah, you'd probably say that, but not.
Yeah, you can body shape Sheamus, but you can't do the Ascension.
No.
We defended Sheamus, but no.
Yeah. I'll defend Sheamus. Okay, hang on. 1 second. There's a reason. These guys, again, to me, they weren't any good. Maybe they were in NXT.
They were good promos.
When you're trying to promote them, they're the new Road Warriors. And look, on the left, he's in the same shape as like Dax at the moment, to be fair. And then
the other guy on the right he looks like Dustin Rhodes' current makeup on the right.
He does actually.
Isn't that Bram?
No, that's Connor. Oh, you want to go? You. This is the weird thing. The Ascension, they have a weird little history in FCW and NXT. So they started off as like a 5-person, like a 4 or 5-person group, and like that. So they were like doing like the whole Twilight Gothic vampire sort of deal, and it was Connor O'Brien, who's been basically in there the entire time, even when the Ascension was just him, and it was just he was the Ascension. So he started off with that, and yeah, Bram was his tag team partner in that one. You also had I forget what her name was at the time in FCW.
Raquel.
You had Shaul Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero's oldest daughter. She was in that group, and you also randomly had Primo, who was like Carlito sorry, not Primo, Epico. You had Epico, who was Primo and Carlito's cousin or brother, or one of the two. I forget the cousin, but it was really weird.
They were all brothers. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, and you missed the best member, Ricardo Rodriguez.
Oh, I completely forgot about him. I haven't seen the footage with him in it, but that's hilarious that they had Epico and Ricardo Rodriguez in there.
Are we talking about the Minotaur bullfighters?
No. Yeah, well, one
of them.
It was, yeah.
Right, and on that note, guys, make sure you smash that subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening, I guess. And until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme. You Slam Jam bromies, snap into the Slam Jam. Boom, and we're off the air.
I'll be there.